Welcome and thanks for being here. Hello, welcome back to another support video. Thank you to all my subscribers for being here and working on your dancing. We're making the world a better place with our joy, spreading it around. If you're new, a special welcome to you. If you're finding these videos helpful, don't be shy, subscribe, hit that like button. Thank you so much for doing so. Today we're talking about alternating turns in our East Coast swing. So this month we're working on East Coast swing, so I thought it would be a good idea to give you some tips on how to make these smooth. Because once you get your feet down, and let me be clear, you have to know where your feet are going first, okay? So this is not a video to teach that. I do that in the live video. You can look that up. But this is a video that once you have your feet set and you still find that you're having pulling and spacing problems with your partner, this is the video you're going to watch to help with that, okay? So the main thing that causes all that pulling and the yanking is our spacing, okay? And there's two things I think that cause this. Too much space. We get too far away, right? And we don't realize it until we're trying to execute the back rock, right? Or we're trying to find each other and now we're reaching for each other, okay? Well, the reason that happened in the first place is because when we go to lead our turn, and this is mainly for the leads right now, okay? So we're doing our basic, right? I got my partner in front of me. I've got really good posture. My shoulders are in my back. I'm not out of my back, right? So I've got my good posture. The second I go to lead my turn, what 99% of you do in the beginning is this. She's over there. I've got to turn her. The shoulder comes out of your back, right? So now she's not following you. You're following her, right? You're telling her what to do, but you're following her momentum, her body, right? You're getting pulled. Okay, you don't even realize it though because your pulling tool isn't attached to your spine, right? So you don't really realize it until you finish the turn, and now all of a sudden you're overstretched so much you can't even do your back rock without getting pulled, okay? So that is the very first thing that happens as a lead, okay? So leads, when you go to lead that inside pass, okay, and you're alternating turns, watch what I'm doing. I'm going to bring my hand up to my face. Yeah, I'm always telling my students, check your watch. What time is it? Because when you ask somebody to check their watch, most of the time they bring their watch up to their face. You don't see a lot of people doing this. I don't know, what time is it, right? So that's important. I say that for a very specific reason, not just to be funny and cute, but it's to help get this idea of the hand coming up to your face in the middle of your partner's in your space, not over to her, okay? So from the rock step, I bring the hand up to my face and now it's in the middle of us, right? And then as she's turning, I'm allowing my elbow to extend around, okay? But not my shoulder. I keep my shoulder to myself. It is my shoulder, okay? And I do that so it's clearly communicated to my partner and myself how much space we have, okay? You can think about it like, you know, your dog or your pet out on a leash, right? They have the stake in the ground that's anchored to it. They're gonna pull and go as far as they can until they feel that anchor, and then they won't go any further. They can't, right? So that's the same idea that we're looking for as a follow. We're filling up the space because that's our job, right? But if you keep giving us more and more space, we're just going to keep taking it, and before you know it, well, we're taking you instead of us following you, okay? So it is so important not to give in to the temptation of letting her energy pull you out of your own body connection. Keep that shoulder in here. You have to be the anchor, right? She moves and adjusts to you, okay? On the whole other side, as a follow, this also can happen as a follow, okay? It doesn't happen as much, but it could be. So check yourself if you're following this pattern. As soon as that arm lifts up, what will happen a lot of times for us as a follow, we're like, oh yeah, let me help. and we'll push it up, which means our shoulder now is coming out of our body cavity, okay? And that's, again, that is unclear, unrealistic spacing communication, right? Because now your partner thinks you have more space than you do, really, because it's not attached to your spine. You have at least 4 or 5 less inches, okay? So when you go to follow that, make sure that your shoulder does not come reaching out of and forward, okay? Pushing forward or up, right? But you're trying to keep your shoulder in your own body, okay? Again, the elbow can move, the shoulder can move a little bit. It's not like it's frozen down. It has to move a little bit, but it's not coming out of the socket. You see the difference? There's a space. I talk about space between the ear and the shoulder, right? This stays down, okay? This can come up and down, this part, right? That's the muscle. It's got to move, but the bone does not have to move, okay? So you keep that bone down in the socket. Make sense? I hope so. All right. The other thing that you can do, a nice little trick to help keep the spacing and help communicate it as well, is to keep contact as long as possible, okay? So I teach this right away, but if I wasn't your teacher, then you might not be doing this. So it's an easy thing to add in, plus it just makes it more fun, especially if you're dancing with somebody you're really close to, right? If you're really close to them, you're gonna really, instead of letting go of this hand down here, right, you're gonna hang on to it as long as possible and then let go and drift across their back, right? And they can feel that. And then if they have their arm up, you're even gonna be drifting around, touching their arm as they're coming through all the way into the next hand hold. This would be much easier if I had Mike down here to demonstrate it with me, but I don't today. So, but when we do it on the live video, we'll show you there, okay? So if you're watching this right now and the live video isn't out yet, be patient. We'll demonstrate it when we're doing the alternating turns, okay? But again, for the lead, instead of letting go of this hand, okay, I'm gonna keep my right hand as long as possible, break it when it has to, and then brush against her back and then down her arm and come into the next hand, okay? And as a follow, in order to have that ability for him to come down, right, you have to keep your arms up and framed and available. No putting them down the side, no hiding them way back here, right, but keeping them up and available. So when we're following this, he's turning us, he's keeping this hand as long as possible, but then it breaks. So as we come around, he's coming across my back like this, and as I come through, that hand can come right down my arm and connect, right? But if my arm is down, he's coming across my back, there's nothing there. And even worse, if it's back behind my arm, that's really far away, right? So keeping the arm up so you can come down and grab onto that hand after your turn, okay? So those are my spacing healers for the alternating turns. Again, the main thing, and I tell you this will fix probably a lot of other styles of your dancing too, leads, is making sure that you're bringing an inside turn up to your own face in the middle of you two, and you're not reaching out over, losing your shoulder out of your socket, okay? Same with the follows. You're not trying to help the turn, but you're staying heavy with the bone in your shoulder position, okay? And then keeping as much contact as much as possible for the lead, follow, allowing that to happen, keeping your frame. Okay, that's it. Pretty easy one today. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.